I just shot a sweet video of my glass deer head that I bought in 2011, and it sat. My dad and I hung it in 2011 after bringing it home from a furniture store, and we hung it at his place, and it sat there for the last 10 years, and it always reminded me of my awakening in 2011, and that time period was very hard for me because I was breaking through a lot of anxiety and a lot of trauma, and I basically went through, a really serious awakening. Some of it was good and some of it was bad. I blew a lot of money. I blew like $15,000 in a 3-month period, and it was a hard time. It was a hard time for me. And so whenever I would see that glass deer head, it would just always remind me of that time period. And I was basically ashamed of that time period in my life. But in this awakening in 2021, I realized just how important that time period was for me. And when I was talking to God, and I realized how much how important that time was, it's like there's nothing to be ashamed of. Like I should be happy with. I should be excited about that time period and what I accomplished with it. And so
so it's like it just works. To be honest,
I basically hung it. I had my dad bring it over to my apartment, and he hung it. And I absolutely love it. I think it's the coolest thing. It's like symbolic of, like, every time I look at it, it just reminds me of like everything I've been through and like reclaiming parts of my past.
I discovered this, and now I can take a nap. I can take like an hour, 2 hour nap if I need to. I didn't take a nap for. I don't think I could take a nap for like 8 years. 8 years, man. Like I was tired.
I'm basically watching myself on like 2 different screens.
15. Because if I lay down
And
longer than
it's funny because sometimes when I'm sitting in my chair and I get really, really uncomfortable, and I'll hear my voice on a couple different screens, and I'll be like, please, for the love of God, please stop talking. Please, please. Please don't talk anymore, Joss. I can't take it. Anyway, I'm turning this day into a good day. It started off pretty rough. But I'm turning it around.